Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Jeremy Grofoka, and I'm the MR Customer Center Manager for GE Healthcare in Europe. It's a great pleasure for me this Saturday to welcome you again virtually in our Customer Center in Buc, near to Paris, for this fourth live scanning session of ECR 2021. We are almost reaching the end of this Congress, but we still have a lot of exciting and new things to demonstrate you. And it starts this morning with the air multipurpose coils. But just before to go further, let me first present you and introduce you the team which is with me in Buc. We have Rachid Majou, who is our clinical leader for Neuro and MSK. He will be our clinical and technical support for this morning. And as well, we have Bastien Perez in the chat, who is our clinical marketing manager. He will follow all the questions you can ask in the chat, all the remarks or comments to really make this session interactive. So please feel free to ask anything. We will answer all of your questions. If we jump on our subject, this morning, it will be the MSK session. MSK imaging using the air multipurpose coil when versatility is serving reproducibility and image quality. If you were with us on Wednesday for the first live scanning session, we already scan MSK, but by using a rigid coil, a dedicated coil, we scan the knee. But sometimes you all know when you perform MSK that a rigid coil could not be the solution. We developed air multipurpose coil, two different sides, to really be able to scan all this anatomy with really flexible coil. As you can see, this is the same family of product than the air anterior array air coil. So here you have the large one, air multipurpose coil, large 21 channel. So with this coil, you will have same characteristics. So super light coil, which is really convenient for the user, but as well for the patient for sure, that could really handle easily the examination, and with a really great flexibility, which will give you this versatility. You will be able to adapt this coil to any type of patient, any morphology, and any anatomies. You will scan, for example, and you will see during this presentation, ankle, forefoot, knee, hips, shoulder. You can really do a lot of things using this coil. And as well, it's a story of image quality. It means that it's not a B plan using the multipurpose coil, it's your A plan because you have 21 elements inside with the air technology, which give you the capability to overlap the element on themselves without any SNR penalty. Let me now introduce you the second one, which is the medium one. I said we have two different sizes. And this one is the air multipurpose medium coil. With this one, you will scan more some small anatomies like the wrist or the elbow, but as well some pelvis, rectum, prostate. And to finish as well, you will be able to scan cardiac. I invite you tomorrow morning to join our cardiac session using this MP coil. Same characteristic, it's really flexible, really light. But what we need here is to see our coil in live. So what I propose you is to take our volunteer, install him on the table, and start to show you the positioning. Okay. Okay, we are installing the volunteer. Something that here I want to mention as well is that your multipurpose coil are provided with positioners, which will really facilitate the positioning of the coil and the reproducibility of the positioning. This one will be for the knee. Okay, just have to put it under the knee like that. And you will have as well this one, which will be dedicated for the ankle and the forefoot imaging. Okay, let's start to perform some positioning. We will start with an ankle, so I will easily position here. You can see that you have this small area which is dedicated to the connector. I just have to position the coil like that. And now I just have have to wrap the coil around the ankle of my patient. Some straps are already here just to give a good fixation of the coil. And you can see that the position is really anatomic and really comfortable for the patient. And in a few seconds, I cover the whole ankle and foot, and it's really reproducible, and really you can really adapt it to any type of patient. Now, if I want to switch to the forefoot, it's really easy. Just have to remove this part on the positioner, and then just have to install the patient like that. And the same, I just have to wrap the coil around the patient. Again, it took me maybe 20 seconds to change the position and do it. The patient is well installed with a nice coverage. It's as well a story of coverage. You can see that I'm covering way more above the ankle. Now let's have a look of the knee. So we already positioned the positioner under the leg of our volunteer. And here the same, just have to wrap the coil around the knee of the patient. Okay, no problem. And
just
here,
a
just
point
to wrap.
to add, Jeremy, the air technology that is embedded inside this coil is interesting as well because does not suffer from the coverage. Usually with a conventional coil, the coverage of the coil itself must be respected, otherwise we lose SNR. By using this air technology, we can use a very small patient and we can wrap along the knee without any loss of SNR.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can see here, I have quite a tall volunteer and I'm covering really large. I have more coverage than with using a dedicated knee coil. Okay. Another interesting anatomy, the hips. So you can see here I can put the coil on my patient. Sorry, there is an echo. Could you mute? Thank you. And yes, you can see for the hips that's really impressive because I can cover all my patient just by putting the coil like that. And again, it's really light for the patient. It's really comfortable. So for the large one, I think we saw pretty nice positioning. Let's maybe show you another one using the medium one. So with the medium one, we will position for the elbow or for the hand or the wrist, which is as well the same positioning. I will just show you without my my headset because I will come too close to the magnet, and maybe I just do it and then we can describe it.
So just a comment about this coil positioning for the elbow. You can see you cover more than the elbow. You can see also here in this case, you can cover the wrist and the hand as well. And for the elbow, the examination you will see after the ankle acquisition, this will be this coil and volunteer positioning, the arm along the body.
Absolutely, Rashid. Yes, we will perform both, and yes, along the body will be really more comfortable for our volunteer. Now, my proposition is to switch the patient positioning because we did it at first to show you at the cameras that were more convenient, but we will scan our volunteer feet first, which will be more convenient for him. So I will just take off the coils and the positioners, and we will install the volunteer. Okay. So to do so, I will do exactly the same positioning than before. I will again remove my headset to perform it quickly and to come close to the magnet.
It is interesting to note that with this support for the MP coil, it's not linked to the coil you use. You can use the two MP coil, multipurpose coil, the medium one or the large one, depending on the size of the anatomy of your patients. In this case, it's interesting as well because you saw that the ankle is at 90 degree, and it's not an effort from your patients to have this 90 degree anatomy because you have the support from the dedicated for that. I will just move to, we have to remove the camera. So I let Bastien talking about few words.
Yeah, thank you, Rashid. The last thing that you have seen Jeremy doing inside the scanning room is he gently pressed the strip band that is on either side of the table. This is a feature we call Intellitouch, and that you can use to do the landmark of your patient, and it will also automatically recognize how you have positioned the RMP coil in that particular case. Jeremy is now moving to the other side of the scanning room. It will show you the user interface, and today is working on a Signa Architect, a 3D whiteboard system, but the user interface is something common to all our Signa MR. So whether you're working on a 3T, on a 1.5T, a narrow bore or a whiteboard, everything that Jeremy will show you from now on is also compatible across all the system. This is an important platforming effort because more and more clinical facilities are operating multiple MR scanner. So we're really trying to standardize the way the system user interface looks like. And the same goes with clinical application. There is no longer clinical application not possible on 1.5T system comparing to 3T. Jeremy, I let it over to you on the other side of the console.
Yeah, thank you, Bastien. Here we are at the operator console. So interface, the SAR limit interface here. So just to define which level of SAR you want to use for the examination. By default, you will have the first level of SAR, but in case your patient got an implant, you can just use the low SAR mode and then define the value which are provided by the manufacturer of the implant to scan safely and without any manual step for you. So all the parameters will be adapted by the system. Let's start our examination with, as all the examination, a 3-plane localizer. Just to, while we are running this 3-plane, to make you an overview of what we are going to scan, we are going to scan first, as you saw, the ankle. So we are going to run really a routine protocol, I mean, with a 3-plan PD FATSAT and 1T1 plan. And as well, I want to show you some large field of view to really show you that you have a great coverage with this coil, and maybe some high spatial resolution acquisition to show you as well that using MP coils, there is no limitation. It's a really great coil for a great image quality. And then to finish the presentation, I really want to show you some elbow with the arm along the body. Let's take the time to position. First thing here I want to highlight is the position of the patient. You can see it's really anatomical. The positioner is really doing the job here, and that's really great for the positioning during the image, and as well yes, it will be really reproducible between your different patients. Okay, here, sagittal plane. You can see, just to highlight quickly the parameters, it's a 0.4 by 0.4 in-plane resolution with a 3 millimeter slice thickness. So it's really a routine examination with a great parameters. We are not making any compromise in the image quality of our examination using here this MP coil. And I would say more, we are scanning with really fast acquisition, less than 2 minutes. And this is as well because we are combining this large MP large coil with the Recon deep learning technique, which here it's at the level of high. We will go further on this technique just right after.
Yeah, Jeremy, let me say a quick word as well on the coil that is located at the bottom right of the screen. You can see that it displays what has been connected once you were inside the scanning room. So here we're using the multipurpose large with 21 channel, and you can see as well that the coil located in the table is always on. This is because you might want to use the MP large combined together with the coil embedded in the table. That would be the case, for example, if you're scanning a hips examination, as Jeremy showed you at the beginning.
Yes, thank you, Bastien, for this precision. So here, actual PD fatsat, again, the same kind of in-plane resolution and slice thickness for, again, only 1 minute. Because here, again, we are using the Recon DL technique. So just to come back on this technique, it's a deep learning-based reconstruction algorithm, which is working specifically on the raw data, on the case space, to remove from it the noise and the Gibbs artifact. So by doing that, we will improve the signal-noise ratio and improve the sharpness of the images. That's why here we are using this MP coil in addition of Recon DL, and we are scanning with only one excitation and with pretty high acceleration factor. This is because we are using this kind of technique.
At the same time, we can see also the coverage of this coil. If you look at the localizer, you can see the coverage of this coil. You can see more than just the ankle joint. You can see a little bit more for the foot as well.
Absolutely, Ash. So the T1 is exactly, so for all the routine sequence, I mean, we decided to use the 0.4 by 0.4 in-plane resolution. Maybe this one is important here as well to highlight, because we created here a large field of view, really to have a nice coverage of the forefoot and of the whole ankle, and to just come a bit above on the leg. But again, without no compromise on the matrix, on the resolution. You can see here we have a 0.2 by 0.3 in-plane resolution, which is the acquired matrix. It's important to understand that this is the matrix that we are acquiring here, which is a matrix of 896 by 732. So even we are using a large field of view, we can deal with high spatial resolution using this coil and again this Recon DL technique. So here we are using AirTouch, RMP coil, Recon DL. So it's really the Air family of product which is working with us this morning. And again, for an acquisition time, again, which is really convenient. I think here, as we have only 20 minutes remaining, I will not scan everything to save time to scan the elbow for the rest of the acquisition. So you can see here, we scan the full protocol in around, I think, it's around 5 to 6 minutes. So it's fast, but as well with great in-plane resolution. Let's have a look of our first images while we are acquiring, which is our sagittal PD fatsat. So first thing that we can really see here is the quantity of signal and the homogeneity of the images that we are generating. here you can really see as well that we have a really great homogeneity of the fat suppression in the whole volume, which is really important for sure. And we have as well a nice sharpness. We have really nice details. You can really see from really close the details of all the structure. Here you can clearly see the cartilage, for example, and some ligaments here as well. You have a really nice definition. And even I would say more that you can really zoom on your images to really see details for, again, an acquisition which is under 2 minutes. It's 1 minute 40. And you can clearly here see the cartilage on this part here with a nice details. But to taste here, what is the added value of Ericon DL? The great thing is to look at the images before and after applying Ericon DL. Why? Because we are working at a case space level, so we are able to reconstruct both with the same raw data. And on the right side here, without Ericon DL, so you can see that, yes, probably you will tell me that I have a too noisy image for a clinical image. But at the same time, it's a really good image. At least you just feel that you are missing maybe one excitation or you have too much acceleration, but you can generate a good image from that. And just here we are removing only noise and Gibbs artifact.
Jeremy, just wanted to comment because we've been having a question in the chat regarding the strength of the deep learning reconstruction. Mm-hmm. The picture that we see on the left side, this is with a high strength, right?
Absolutely, this is high strength. But
and yes, it's something with the first user of this technology, they have assessed for us if it's better to go with low, medium, or high, and most of the clinical users are going with medium or high with regard to the Ericon DL strength.
Absolutely, it's mainly the trust that they are performing, but at the same time, it's important just to say that it's important to know for the user that they will keep the control on the technique and on the image quality they are generating. Here, the actual PD fat sat for only 1 minute. And again, I think the quantity of details we have here on the articular surface and here with the tendons and the ligaments is quite impressive, I think, for a 1 minute acquisition with 0.4 acquired acquisition. And again, we see the job of that Ericon DL is doing here. You can display it as a full screen to really let you a few seconds to really taste the image quality.
Would you say, Jeremy, that 1 minute could become the standard for MSK acquisition? I was doing a little bit of application myself back in the years, and most of the time, 3 minutes was most of the gold standard when it comes to acquisition of a PD fat sat for any kind of joint. So would Ericon DL bring that standard back to 1 minute? Because that could be potentially 2 minutes of scan time saving for each MSK acquisition.
Absolutely, Bastien. It's what we call the hyperspeed protocol. Since we implemented Ericon DL, we created full protocol for neuro, MSK, spine with a full protocol less than 5 minutes. So the 1 minute acquisition will not become your fast protocol, but will become your standard protocol. And then if you have some specific indications, specific pathology, maybe you would like to use really high in plane resolution. And then for that, you will use mainly the acquisition time you are using today for your routine. Here, for example, for the last one we are going to scan on the ankle, we are going to use a 0.3 in plane acquired with 2.5 slice thickness for only 3 minutes 37. So yeah, this is clearly the thing that we can claim here. And if you come back on the session of Wednesday, it's clearly what we have been demonstrated because we scan a knee protocol in around 4 minutes and a ultra high resolution protocol between 12 to 13 minutes.
Just a comment about the spatial resolution we use for the what we call the hyperspeed protocol, full examination in less than 5 minutes. The reality is the spatial resolution, the 0.4 by 0.4 by 3 millimeter, is a spatial resolution that is commonly seen on site, sometimes even less because of the scan time. Today with Recon DL, we are able to reach very low scan time because we remove the excitation or the accumulation of the signal. So we remove it. That means we reduce the scan time, and by doing that, we are able to reach very fast acquisition time. So 5 minutes with this spatial resolution is what we can see, or we can think that is a standard protocol in MSK. And also that is very important to think that having very short acquisition or examination time, it's also very useful when you want to avoid motion of the patients. Longer the examination, higher the risk of motion. By being very fast, you reduce this kind of rescanning because the patient moves.
Absolutely, Rashid. Here, it's really a patient-oriented story. I mean, we are using flexible, ultra-flexible coils like MP coils. So the positioning is easy. It's easy to handle for the patient. And with the combination of Recon DL, we are scanning 1 minute, 1 minute 30 examination. So you will maximize and magnify the patient experience while having the capability to improve your image quality and your patient throughput. You can here on purpose, I display the full protocol we performed. So you have the 3 PD FATSAT and the T1. And yes, we started to scan 10 minutes ago, less than 10 minutes ago, and we already finished with nice image quality and as well a nice reproducibility, which is really important. That using this multipurpose coil, as I said before, it's not a B plan. It's really something that you will definitely fit in your daily routine for your patient and for all your examination. What is great here is that we already perform one high resolution acquisition as well, which is our sagittal T1 using this really high matrix. It's 0.2 by 0.3 in plane resolution, if you remember well. And just here, let's have a look of the quantity, the homogeneity of the signal we have in the full field of view. We have really a nice coverage on the forefoot, on the leg here, and really with as well really nice details. You can see we can, on this large field of view, zoom on our images and see details like we had in the small field of view we had before, and for only 2 minutes 26. So this kind of sequence are really again the combination between the air multipurpose coil, which delivers more coverage, and the Recon DL technique, which allow us to scan faster or with higher spatial resolution, because we are at the same time removing noise and Gibbs artifact. And I want as well here to add something about this protocol. And it's about MR mainly, because we know MR, it's a sensitive technique to parameters optimization. And using Recon DL, you will maximize the reproducibility because you will be less sensitive to variation of protocol. It's an ease of use technique for your team that will generate linear answers in terms of image quality. So MP coils are really versatile and really easy to use as a radiographer every day, and Recon DL will bring as well more easy workflow and easy way to work with the system as well. So this is, I think, the full story here.
Jeremy, let me also remind people here for this live scanning session that tomorrow at 10 a.m. we'll be we'll be having the last one about cardiac imaging. And as you rightly said, the versatility of the MP coil will be demonstrated by doing cardiac. I know it will be Sunday morning. You don't have to be here live, but I really invite you to at least subscribe, because those sessions are recorded and you will be able to replay it later on, whether for your own purpose or if you want to show it to your colleague as well. So subscribe and you will be able to see all of that.
Yeah, thank you, Bastien. In the meantime, we have finished the high resolution protocol as well for the elbow, the ankle, sorry, and Jeremy is in the room to change the coil to perform the very fast protocol for the elbow. In the meantime, we have here at the right the acquisition for the high spatial resolution. You can see here the matrix acquisition. And you can see also the slice thickness, 2.5 millimeter. By doing that, you can see some details, and it's interesting because we can zoom very a lot on the anatomy, and you can see some details of the anatomy of the ankle that you can not see if we use a lower spatial resolution. You can see very well the sensitivity of the sequence to detect the fluid, to see also what we have in terms of details. And it's also interesting if we compare what we had before with the fast one, the hyperspeed one. It was this one. And we can see the difference of details between these two acquisitions. Let me just adapt the same contrast. Just a little bit less. Okay. Okay. And you can see if we go to zoom in a specific area that you can see the difference in terms of details or spatial resolution. Difference between this kind of matrix, 340 by 440 square matrix, and for a very fast acquisition or very fast examination, the hyperspeed protocol is very good. And if you want to go to the details or the anatomical details, you can go to this kind of matrix in a very clinical time. This is also possible for you to mix between very high spatial resolution and very fast acquisition in the same examination.
Thank you, Rashid. So while you were explaining all those interesting things, I was here and I was in the room and I was changing the setup of our patient. So you can see now on the right bottom corner here, we have the MP medium coil, which is positioned. I positioned the patient for the elbow examination. So the arm along the body, feet first again. Okay, let me maybe do another 3-plane localizer to be more accurate in the positioning of our slices.
It's important just to notice in this for the elbow examination, we will use the medium size of the multipurpose coils family. For the ankle, we use the large one, and for the elbow, we use the medium one.
And so you can see in 20 minutes, we achieved full protocol with classical routine sequence, high resolution sequence we took time to change the positioning of the patient, and we will have time to scan at least one or two elbow acquisition. Okay, it will be way more better here to position our images.
Hey, Jeremy, I wanted to say a word as well on the images that you can see coming up on the top right corner of the screen. This is what we call Autoview, and basically once the images are being reconstructed, you can see them live. So it can help you to understand if you have done the right positioning, but it's also helping you when you do dynamic images, because every single acquisition will be reconstructed and you will see it coming in this Autoview feature. So you can really at the same time prescribe your MR slices and look at what's coming from the previous acquisition.
Absolutely, this is really convenient to follow the on the fly your examination and to test your image quality. So here we are acquiring the coronal PD facade for our elbow. Again, no compromise on the resolution, on the image quality. Same story of this 0.4 by 0.4 in plane resolution with 3 mm slice thickness, 1 minute 20. So again, here using a Recondiel will really help you as well to scan faster for this kind of examination, because we have 1 minute 21.
Also, this is interesting because you see that there is no big difference between the ankle protocol and the elbow protocol. That means that by using different coils, you can use, if you are happy with, for example, the high resolution ankle imaging, you can do it for the elbow. It's the same coil. You have a Recondiel that helps to make the image quality very smooth and very reliable. So it's easy also to use this kind of acquisition, what we call the R family. That is plenty of solutions. We don't say everything about the R family solutions we have, but you mainly see two things that are the Recondiel deep learning reconstruction and also the RMP coil. So same protocol is very easy for you to manage your protocols.
Thank you, Achille. And as you just finished, we received the first images. That's perfect. Okay, let's have a look of the image quality we have. 2 minutes remaining, so we'll have maybe time for 1 or 2 sequences. And yes, here, same thing. First thing to highlight, because we are working with an off-center position, we are working the elbow along the body. So nice, really nice homogeneity of the fat suppression. I think here it's perfect. With again using a Recondiel, a great quantity of signal, we can really again with this improvement of sharpness see a lot of details with this fast acquisition. And for the elbow, definitely it's really an anatomy where the patient are really painful and they cannot stand for a long time in their position. So to have fast acquisition will really maximize the chance for you to have the best quality for your acquisitions. And again, we can do this this comparison with and without Recondiel. We have the T1, really anatomical one. It was less than 1 minute here again. And I think yes, and again, we have really nice details. The bone structure is really quite defined. Again, there is no compromise using this multi-purpose coil. We are scanning here the last plan. I think it's already 40. It was quite of a challenge for us this morning because we really wanted for the first time to show you positioning, acquisition with both, with 2 anatomies. So it was a great pleasure. I really hope you enjoy. Maybe do you have some question, Bastien, to highlight to finish?
No, there is no question on the chat. I want to take the opportunity also to thank you both, Jeremy and Rashid, for being in book today over the weekend with the difficult condition that we all know. And we're really looking forward to have you as well tomorrow for the last live scanning session of this ECR 2021.
And if you want to wait the 30 seconds remaining, you will see the
of course that's
yes,
the good thing with Eric on DL. You no longer have to wait more than 3 minutes to get new images.
Absolutely, this is the story.
Yeah, and we will finish just the examination for the elbow, but for those who cannot stay until the end of the session, they will be able to see the end of the session from the link you will receive a little bit later. And you can see in the meantime that the examination of the elbow is very fast. In less than 5 minutes, you have a complete elbow examination. That is also very good because I know sometimes for the private sites they want to work very fast, and sometimes they want to have also the spatial resolution, and by using this kind of tool you are able to reach both sides of the coin, I would say.
So we wish you all a nice Saturday, and enjoy the end of your congress. And I really hope to see you soon tomorrow morning. Bye.
Thank you everyone for your attendance. Bye everyone. Have a nice weekend and nice end of ECR.